right? Most crimes are a crime of opportunity. Anyways, where were we on that? What was the topic on that one? Oh, that was the Lawrence Haverhill topic. All right, good. I've got another story, Paul. Now, we probably should have done this when we were talking about people without ethics.
Okay.
Now, everyone remembers that a couple of years ago when State Senator Barbara L'Italian was running for State Senate, she didn't pay her taxes. So we wrote a story at the Valley Patriot saying she didn't pay her taxes. We called the town. We got a copy of the taxes that didn't get paid, and we published it. She went on the radio and called us a liar, and then said that her opponent didn't pay his taxes. That became her answer, that her opponent didn't pay his taxes. Her opponent at the time was Alex Vispoli, and she claimed that he had a tax lien on his property. So we called town hall. We got the documents. Turned out he didn't have a lien on his home. He remortgaged his home. And when you remortgage your home, they give you a lien that tells you how much you owed on the property on taxes so you can clean that up before you remortgage the home, right? So it was like a one-day lien that he got because he was remortgaging his home. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because Barbara L'Italian, of course, got elected anyway. She's the state senator. She lives in Andover, and she's running for Congress in that field of 10 people. This week, so I mean, to me, Paul, that shows me somebody who, before we go forward, has no ethics.
Well, if she didn't pay her taxes, why was she voted in?
Because Democrats don't care.
And why wasn't she arrested or something? I mean, this was one of the counts against Manafort, wasn't it?
Right. So she didn't pay her taxes. To me, the offense was more not her paying her taxes. Right? We all have financial issues. We all have financial difficulties. There's time we're behind on our taxes, behind on our bills. To me, the offense was denying it, trying to put the stink on your opponent who's innocent of what you did, and being dishonest and unethical and immoral about it. To me, I always look at what kind of person someone is. I don't get stuck in this political stuff. Well, he did it and she did it and he robbed a bank, so why are you being mad at me? She didn't pay her taxes. She lied about it. She tried to put the stink on someone else, and it all turned out to be a lie on her part.
Yeah, it's the denial and the transference that's the real evil.
So now here we are. Barbara L'Italian is running for Congress. Could anyone expect anything less in a congressional candidate than we got in a Senate candidate? There are 10 people running in this race. Out of full disclosure, I've endorsed Juana Matias. I am not a Democrat, but I think she certainly represents where the Democrats are and what the Democrats need right now, and not from a right-wing perspective, but from a left-wing perspective. A flyer went out to people in Methuen this week. It was a flyer for Barbara L'Italian. The flyer, Paul, had a picture of Barbara L'Italian and State Representative Diana DiZoglio, who's running for State Senate in a different district.
Okay.
Diana is the chosen one of Methuen. There is no one who doesn't love Diana DiZoglio. When her Senate race comes in November, she's going to win like 90% of Methuen. She is loved. She works hard. And she does a great job as a state representative, which is what she is currently now. But Barbara L'Italian, but Diana DiZoglio is not endorsing Barbara L'Italian.
Okay.
And Barbara L'Italian sent out a flyer with a picture of her and Diana DiZoglio to make it look like Diana DiZoglio supports her campaign.
But doesn't say it.
But it doesn't say. So this is the lying that politicians do. Lawyers do this all the time. They play literal word games. They say, well, I didn't say she endorsed me. No, but you purposely gave that impression, and that's the same thing. To me, that's the same thing. In fact, that's worse because you're being dishonest about it. I mean, if you came out and you said she's endorsing me, all right, you're lying, but at least you're being overt about your lie. When you're being subversive about your lie, that makes it even worse. You're like double lying.
It's like a double lie.
It's like a double lie. So she sent out this flyer, and now my phone's ringing off the hook from people who know that I'm friends with Diana. And they're saying, hey, wait a minute. Well, I got this flyer. Diana's endorsing Barbara L'Italian. So I'm like, wait a minute. I had lunch with Diana Sunday. She told me she hates Barbara. She didn't say that. She's not supporting anybody in this race. So I called Diana. I said, listen, Diana, were you being dishonest with me when we had lunch? You said you're not endorsing anybody. She said, I'm not endorsing anybody. I said, well, let me email you a flyer that someone just sent me. Apparently, Barbara L'Italian thinks you are.
I want others to think you are.
It did not go well after that. So Diana DiZoglio, not happy. Not happy that Barbara L'Italian has sent out a misleading flyer,
And yet
at least a misleading
There's
flyer.
no legal recourse to that. You can't say that they lied about me or misrepresented me.
No, it's all free speech stuff. And, when you live in a country that has free speech, as much as we don't like what people are doing, being dishonest and being deceitful and being immoral and Barbara Italian unethical, which is to me the worst, we have to tolerate that in a free society. And the best way to combat that is to use our free speech to call it out. Right? So the government shouldn't step in the way here. It should be up to the voters to educate themselves. It's up to me as a member of the press to inform the voters. If you're living in Methuen and you got one of these flyers, Barbara Italian is not being endorsed by Diana DiZoglio. Diana is running for state senate in a different district, and she's running her own race. And she's actually being smart by not endorsing somebody. Because let's say she does come out and she endorses Barbara Italian. All the Juana Matias supporters, or all of the Lori Trahan supporters that are in that district, are going to go, yeah, you know what, I'm not voting for Diana now. She's supporting the other candidate. Why would? And there's, by the way, 10 candidates in this race. So by Barbara doing this, what she really did was she didn't elevate herself with Methuen voters, because the word's getting out. What she's done is she has sullied Diana's reputation among the other 9 candidates in that race, that maybe their supporters shouldn't be voting for Diana. And to me, that goes back to the Cohen discussion and the Omarosa discussion. Barbara Italian just becomes a despicable human being at that point. And I'm sorry, because I actually like talking to Barbara. I see her. We've had a spotty relationship, for sure. But I at least had gained a respect for her after the last issue that we had with her taxes. And we had spoken several times after that. I even wrote a great story about her going to Israel and her time in Israel, and posted the pictures and what she learned. And she came to my office and I interviewed her and wrote a great glowing story about what she did, because I thought what she did was great, regardless of the fact that I didn't really like her. And I really kind of thought, okay, she's learned her lesson, and Barbara is kind of back on the straight and narrow. I might not agree with her anymore on things, but at least she's not going to be behaving unethically as an elected official or a candidate. And then boom, she pulls this. And again, forget the politics of it. What kind of a human being are you is what we have to ask the people that are running for office. And I know some people get all worked up that Donald Trump cheated on his wife. That stuff doesn't bother me. That's your personal life that has nothing to do with the public's sphere, the public's money, the public realm.
Is it possible that the candidate doesn't know what's going on in some of the advertising?
Let's play that out. Let's say that's true. That makes it worse. Because what kind of a congressman will you be that stuff will go out with your name on it and you won't know what it is, that you won't have done your homework and approved it? Everything that goes out of the Valley Patriot office, no matter who compiles it, when we do mailings for advertising, when we do mailings for the bash, I have to sign and approve every single piece of mail that goes out. Because it's my name on it, it's my company name on it, and I want to make sure that there aren't any mistakes. Sometimes sometimes someone screws up. We have volunteers that work for us. God bless them, they work for free, but sometimes they screw up. Sometimes their heart's not into what they're doing. They're having a bad day, and they screw up. And it says, we don't want your, a mailing goes up that says, please, we don't want your donation for the bash. Wait, what do you mean don't? You screwed up. You got to pull the word don't out. So if Barbara Italian didn't know, which I don't believe for a second she didn't know, but if she didn't know, that to me actually makes it worse, because it's your name and it's your flyer and you're the candidate, and by the way, the buck stops with you. I'm a little surprised by all of this. I'm also surprised we reached out to Lori Trahan, who I think is another candidate in that race that I have some respect for. And I also reached out to Juana Matias and asked them for a quote, because I'm going to be writing a story about this for the next edition, maybe even for online before the election. And Lori Trahan did not want to give us a comment on that, which was a little disappointing. I thought that was very disappointing on that. So
get Barbara Italian on the show.
She won't come on the show. She won't come on the show. She's a coward. Just like Duggan didn't show up in court. Cowards don't ever want to face people. That's how they are. So, you got anything for us, Paul?
Not at this moment.